Right. Well, I guess I'm live. So, first of all, I have to apologise that I haven't been on at all last week. And most of the reason for that, my husband is working from home because of this stupid coronavirus thing. And I don't want people going to the office or whatever. And it's like, I don't know, I just feel weird doing YouTube videos when there's somebody else sort of sitting in the next room. I'm in here talking to myself. It's just a bit strange. I don't know. I just feel like it's weird. And also because he's distracting me all the time. And then I'm like, oh, I forget. But so apologies. But he's out right now. That's why I'm doing this. I've sent him to Costco. Not for toilet roll. I'm not panic buying toilet roll. I couldn't give a crap about toilet roll, honestly. If the apocalypse happens, what am I going to do with toilet roll? Can't eat that, can I? But I've sent him out to panic buy the Lindt chocolate truffles, which, if you think about it, all of you lot that panic buying toilet roll, well, you're all going to die because you can't eat toilet roll, but I'll be just fine because I have all the Lindt chocolate truffles, which would be the perfect thing. It's the perfect food, actually, if everybody ran out of food. They last a while, you can store them, and there's loads of energy in it. It's got just about everything you need. It's got fat, protein, sugar, tastes great. So, yeah, you guys carry on with your toilet roll, and I'm just going to stock up on Lindt chocolate truffles, all right? And I'll have yours as well. All right, so email from someone. I'm recovering from 12 plus years of anorexia. I'm not yet weight restored, but I'm making slow progress, eating more and challenging fierce behaviors. Up until recently, I was relatively functional. I worked full-time, met up with friends, etc., but I never felt very present when with others, as my mind was always elsewhere, usually on food. That's normal. Now I have been told I can't work until my BMI is higher, so I'm even more isolated. I'm finding I really don't want to socialize or see people, especially when there's food involved. Do I need to force myself to go out and socialize, even when I can't be bothered? Or just I wait until I'm more weight restored and hopefully my brain will be working better? And just accept that the next few weeks or months I spend my time alone. Due to the coronavirus, the coronavirus has made this even more challenging because I have OCD, ED, and I'm terrified of getting sick. Well, I mean, I feel like you're using the coronavirus as an excuse there, aren't you? Because it sounds to me like you're using just about anything as an excuse, honestly. Why are you slowly weight restoring? Do you know what? It doesn't take actually very long at all to weight restore if you eat a fuck ton of food. So I don't know, from that email, I don't feel like you're in recovery. I feel like you're in recovery, which is just like, I'm going to act as if I'm still afraid of gaining weight, and I'm probably going to eat a little bit more, so I might gain some weight, but nothing in my brain is going to rewire because I'm acting as if I don't want to gain weight. So I'm not teaching my brain that I'm not afraid of weight gain, which means because I'm still acting as if I'm afraid of weight gain, even though I'm eating more food, I'm just going to gain weight and be just as fucked up mentally, and it's all going to come off within a couple of weeks because I won't be able to maintain it because my brain will be... That sort of sounds where you're at in recovery. My advice for you would be to drop that facade, that little game that you're playing, and actually get on with it. And stop pretending that you're really worried about how isolated you are, and just sit at home and stuff your face with cake, and then it won't really take that long, and you can go out, can't you? If that's what you really want, you can go back to work if that's what you really want. But the reason that you're not doing that is because you're afraid of gaining weight. I get it, but it's a vicious circle, and you're going to have to be really brave and force yourself to eat the food and act as if you are not afraid of gaining weight, because that is what we have to do if we want to fully recover. Okay? All right, I've got time for a couple of questions, but not now. Lots of highs. Hi. Okay, right. So Garfield says, Garfield, I have a question. How do I tell that my mental hunger is gone? Well, that's the wonderful thing about it. You don't know it's gone because it's gone. But the thing is, you know when it's there because you're thinking about food, but you don't know when it's gone because it's gone. So how it happens is if you just fall into this, like get on track with whenever I'm thinking about food, even if I'm asking myself the question, am I thinking about food or anything like that, that's mental hunger, and that means I'm going to eat. Then you'll eat mental hunger. And then when mental hunger's gone, the amount that you're eating will naturally sort of normalize a little bit because you're not thinking about food the whole time. The last thing that you need to worry about is when will I know that mental hunger's gone, because it won't be there anymore. So you won't, that's how you know it's gone. It's like how it happens, or how it happened with me is just that it was just like one day I was just like, and then I was like, looked at the time, I was like, what? I haven't thought of food for 2 hours. And that is because it doesn't go immediately. That's what will happen. You go from thinking about food the whole time to suddenly, like, you know, one day you'll be like, I didn't even think about food for 2 hours. Look at the time. It's 5 o'clock, and last time I ate was 3 o'clock. Oh my God, things are changing. That's how it starts to happen. You start to, you know, like, because if you're not thinking about food, and you're also not thinking, am I thinking about food or not? Like, that doesn't count. That is mental hunger. If you're genuinely not thinking about food, then you don't think to eat. And then it's gone a couple of hours and you're like, oh, wow, I didn't think about eating. And now I am thinking about eating, so I am going to eat. And that's just how it works. And then the gaps get a little bit longer. And then you usually normalize into what's more normal, that most of us, we sort of eat and snack, breakfast, lunch, dinner, that's me, but lots of snacks in between. But I'm not eating the whole time like I was when I was in recovery. And that's the difference. That's how you work it out. All right. Don't forget peanut butter M&Ms. I'm not into the M&Ms, honestly. Peanut butter, I totally agree that is another, just like, if you were going to pick one thing, say if I'm going to a desert island, I could have it, you know, like on Desert Island Discs, they give you a book and I'd say I want an unlimited supply of, I don't want the Bible, I want an unlimited supply of Lindt chocolate truffles. But peanut butter as well, like, that is the perfect food. You could live off that stuff if you eat enough of it. You could easily, it's just got about everything that you need in there. And it's like compact. It's quite portable, isn't it, if you think about it? So unlike toilet roll, which is quite bulky and you can't eat it, it just doesn't make any sense to me that people are buying that. Anyway, all right. So yes, peanut butter, exactly. Peanut butter and Lindt chocolate truffles. All right. All right, so I'm going to pick this one. And I have actually answered this question before, Rama, but I'm going to do it again. So Rama writes, hi, Tabs, you don't explain how people get obese. And I don't mean BMI. I mean, people can't walk because how heavy they are. All right. So, you know, I'm always going on about, like, the body is just this organism that wants to survive. And every decision that the body makes, there's a reason behind it. And so every obese person that I have met in my life has at some point in their life, and at most of them multiple points, and relentlessly dieted. Because what usually happens is they weren't obese to start with. They were in a larger body and there was nothing wrong with them. But maybe their doctor, maybe their friends, maybe even their parents, whatever, someone said to them, oh, you know, it's not fashionable to be the size that you are. They didn't say it like that, but you know what I mean. So, you know, maybe you should go on a diet. Maybe you should consider a diet. Maybe you should consider eating healthily. People start dropping those types of hints. And they don't drop those types of hints because the person's actually unhealthy and their larger body. They drop those types of hints because they think the person might be happier in a smaller body. And the reason that they think the person might be happier in a smaller body is because our culture is fucked up and thinks that thin equals happiness, which it doesn't. But anyway, so people start being like, oh, you know, maybe you should try eating healthier when this person's, I don't know, 14, 15, 16. And they start to think, well, maybe I should. So most people who are started off in larger bodies, around their mid, sometimes early, but usually around mid-teens, they start dieting because our culture is fucked up, as I've already mentioned, and that leads them to do that. And so when you diet, you wage war on the body. You go into energy deficit, and everybody's body has a different reaction to energy deficit. Some people's bodies are, you know, like mine, have an anorexia genetic reaction to energy deficit, which makes me want to migrate. So if I went into energy deficit, I'd want to move a lot and eat very little. That's what we call anorexia. Some people's bodies don't have that type of response. Some people's have a response that's more along the lines of hibernation, which is just like, oh, shit, we're in a famine. I know what to do. I'm going to slow this person down. I'm going to take the metabolism to rock bottom, and I'm going to store fat for them to protect them from the famines that are likely to happen. Now, if you think from a person's body who's just in and out of dieting for maybe 10 years or more, this is just famine, famine, famine. And that body makes a decision that's so intelligent. It makes a decision to get larger, to store fat, to protect it from upcoming famines. Now, if you think about it from a biological / evolutionary point of view, that's just fucking genius, isn't it? It's so smart. But no, we don't say, oh, look how smart your body is. Fuck, your body's a genius. It's storing fat. You should possibly eat more so that your body doesn't feel that you have to do that. No. The doctors say, you're even larger. Maybe you should eat less. Maybe you should eat healthier. You know what? Maybe you should go and exercise. So what they do is they tell that person to go further into energy deficit. And what does that person's very smart, genius body do? It stores more fat, because that's that body's solution. That's that body's genetic solution to energy deficit. We're not going to change that. It's not like the body's going to suddenly go like, oh, wait, it's not fashionable, is it, to store fat? So I'm going to do something different. The body's not going to do that. Like, our genetics go back, our DNA goes back a long, long fucking way. Like, it's not, doesn't care about what the latest fashion trend is in body sizes. Anyway, long story short, that's how diets make people fatter. And I challenge you, next time you look at somebody that is obese, don't assume that they just eat a fuck ton of food. Assume that they've probably been dieting most of their lives. And they have extreme hunger like you do, or those of us that recover from anorexia do. They have it just the same, because they're dieting and because they're creating energy deficit, and their bodies are storing fat. And not all of our bodies do that, but that's what their body is designed genetically to do. I hope that's really clear, because that is a question that comes up a lot, and I feel like I answered that question a lot. So I'm going to leave it at that for today, because I haven't really got that much time. But, oh, well, it depends if I can send the husband out on another errand around this time tomorrow. I might well be back. It's great, though, because I can just tell him to go and get me some chicken feed. I'll panic buy chicken feed. That's another thing I should panic buy. Chicken feed, yeah. Because, I could eat chickens if I needed to. Not that I do that. I don't eat my chickens. They're too scrawny. They run around all the place. Like, those chickens are crazy. I've told you about my chickens before, haven't I? They're a little bit better trained now, but not much. Anyway, so don't worry. I will keep the chickens well supplied with food.